What's up, legends? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're back on Black Ops 6 Zombies. We're here on Shattered Veil, and we're back with the TR2 with the full auto attachment. Now, they actually fixed this, and I feel like it was in pretty reasonable amount of time, too. So now when we pack-a-punch this, we'll no longer go back to a burst fire weapon or transform into a burst fire weapon like it does with the regular version of the TR2. So I'm really excited to get my hands on this. I do want to take it at least 41 rounds. Maybe we'll even go further with the rampage inducer on for the entirety of it, just so we can test out how viable it actually is. I was pretty excited when I used this last time because I felt like it had potential to be great. And we were, kind of shocked to see it go back to burst, but to be fair, with a lot of these attachments, they kind of end up taking on their normal weapons pack-a-punch effects, which leads to these issues actually existing. So big ups to Treyarch for actually getting a fix in, letting us know basically that it wasn't intended after all this time. Because I was under that impression, if you watched my last video where we covered this, that it wasn't intended and that it would get fixed. So W. All right, we got a little double point action early on. We're going to hang out in this first area probably for a little bit here just to build up points and prepare ourselves for our journey to Pack-a-Punch. That way we can get suited up sooner than later and venture through these rounds quickly. I'm extremely excited that we're under 2 weeks away from Season 5 and the final addition to Black Ops 6 Zombies maps. Now, I'm looking forward to the new map a lot, but something I'm actually going to do this time around is normally I try to jump in with the crew, figure out the Easter egg, or be a part of the Easter egg hunt, right? Then once it gets figured out, we execute it, and then I make a guide on it. This time, what I think I'm going to do is not only am I going to do that, I'm probably going to upload our first run and completion of it. That way I can get that out quite a bit faster, then work on the guide and put the guide out secondary. So you guys can definitely look forward to that or expect that from me. I likely won't stream the progress just because I would then have to end stream pretty quickly to work on content. So I'd rather just try to focus on starting up streams after the fact. And I don't know, I might do our first stream back before Season 5 starts just to get the hang of things, but unfortunately, I was watching EWC this weekend, so I didn't want to make it this weekend, being that I have to wake up so early, watch that, then knock out my content stuff. It just takes up too much of the day. So once that's done and out of the way and the Black Ops 6 season is behind us, we can lock in. I feel like I have a pretty good question for you guys today. If you're an avid watcher of my channel, likely you are a modern zombies enjoyer first and foremost. So you guys are the perfect people to ask. If there was one thing you guys would change about the current version of zombies, Black Ops 6 Zombies in general, going into Black Ops 7, what would it be and why? I think for me, it would be the armor on the zombies, specifically allowing us to do a little bit more damage to it, or at least have it be a little bit less viable for the zombies to exist so easily with armor on, right? Just make it a few extra bullets, like a couple bullets for light armor, a couple more bullets for whatever, something in between, and the heavy armor obviously takes a little bit more. But it should be easier for us to break through the armor, especially at our max pack-a-punch, max rarity, and going into the rounds where a majority of our enemies are that type. Now, I definitely think it's pretty much been leaked at this point that we will 100% be getting another new perk. I'm just hoping it's not Mule Kick or Tombstone. I don't really know what else it could be that I would be really looking forward to, but I kind of feel like both of those wouldn't be really that great to see in the game. Honestly, they don't even need to add another perk necessarily. I definitely think in this game, Mule Kick is just entirely too niche. Like, I don't even find myself with 2 weapons most of the time, so there's definitely not a reason for me to have 3, unless I could hold both the Wonder Weapon, my regular weapon, and then use my fist as the third thing and not rely on having to have an actual weapon in that slot in order to take advantage of it. All right, down to the mainframe we go. We actually got here at a much later round than I normally come down here, and I came a little bit more prepared than I usually come down here as well. Let's go ahead and get this party started. Now we can actually finally use the TR2 the way it was intended to be with the full auto attachment. I'm definitely excited. I am definitely excited. Don't forget to put on the magazine. I'm pretty sure I have it on this. I just left the build as is and waited for them to fix it, essentially. Re-equipped it, and here we are. The fire rate is crazy fast with double tap. Like, I feel like it definitely slows down a little bit as you continue to fire, but still pretty solid. That's the lab tech. Oh, you took 1 bullet, just shrugged it off. No big deal. The one thing that definitely is pain with this weapon right now is reloading, but I mean, you can get over that pretty quickly. Let me go ahead and buy some ammunition so I can actually shoot this gun. Watch out. I would like to get another decoy if I can, but I don't think that's going to be happening. Because I would like to use it here, but we're not going to use it. I'd rather hold on to the decoy until we get more. Obviously, once we get Vulture Aid, that all helps out too. We do have dead wire to help us activate some ammo mods if they so choose to do so. I feel like I'd be doing you guys a disservice though if I didn't mention the negatives of the weapon. 100% feel like the rate of fire is pretty fast, so you're going to want to be a little safer on when you choose to actually upgrade or pack a punch, because otherwise you might end up buying a lot more ammunition than normal, which then leads to you obviously wasting a lot more essence, which you could have used to upgrade later on. Like, we're doing plenty of damage here. We're going to kill the one disciple we need to kill. No need to be pack 2 yet, even though it would be nice, because we're going to go through a lot more, you know what I mean, not a lot more currency, and we're still killing them pretty fast. I think we've waited long enough to get Pack-a-Punch level 2. Now, I don't know how many of you have actually played sandbox games like Minecraft, or I guess one of the better references in correlation to what I'm going to talk about would be like 7 Days to Die, but they technically, in a lot of, if not most of those types of games, give you a lot of control over how you play, whether it's difficulty or like world settings, game settings, you name it. And you can choose your own adventure to some degree, right? Whether or not you want to have permadeath or not, or make things more rare to find, or enemies more difficult, or whatever, right? I feel like that's something that Black Ops 6 Zombies, or a future iteration of Zombies, could just gain so much momentum from. Like, imagine you could jump in and push classic mode, and it would take you to a much harder version of what we have now. Obviously, removing the armor, going back to classic elements, limiting you to 4 perks, classic point system, you name it. Whatever falls into that category mentally for you, that's what you could imagine under this classic mode, right? Imagine that was available to us. Imagine you could turn on the Pack-a-Punch, turn off Pack-a-Punch, turn on perks, turn off perk machines, whatever the heck you wanted to do for challenges. You want to do a starting room mode similar to what we already have in the game. You wouldn't need a whole separate mode for it. You would just have this private match customization that allows you so much freedom that you could just make it to where doors aren't purchasable. And there you go. You have your starting room mode within a private match. Obviously, they could still leave it to where you have to be online or whatever to even do the private match, but even having that accessibility, I think, would be insane for the game. Just being able to choose your own adventure. Make it to where I can't pack-a-punch my weapons for the no-pack challenges. Make it to where you know, your rarity machines, your arsenals, your whatever. You want to Wonder Fizz on round 1, you can turn it on. If you want to not have objective markers on your screen, you can turn them off. Just anything you can imagine in customization, allow it to be available through a private match for Zombies. Be the ultimate W. I didn't want to hang out here for too long, but I ended up having to buy some ammunition, and then it turned into me grabbing a nuke, and then the whole round flipped before I knew it. So what I really wanted to do, well, not going to do it for this round. I'm just going to get the 2-plater. I can come back and get this 2 points. This double points over here. All right, we got 30 bullets left. Was it enough? It was. Let's go. Okay, we do almost have another one of those. Let's try our best to get this. Nice. Should be able to do some damage here. Where's our guy at? There he is. He's here. Pop it. We gotta destroy this man as quickly as we can. Wait, did you guys see that? That parasite thing full-on targeted me while I was in a shroud. That is probably not supposed to happen. If we're being completely honest. I don't think that's supposed to happen. I think this is the longest I've stayed on the backside of this mansion in any of my rounds ever. So this is going pretty interestingly. Luckily, we did end up getting the insta-kill, which has helped me out quite a bit, but I still haven't even gotten all my perks, so I need to make my way over to get speed cola, quick revive, and all that good stuff. I was definitely right a little bit about the ammo situation. I've bought ammo with this weapon more often than I have with most of the weapons I remember in recent times. Let's just put it that way. Obviously, it makes sense. We are blasting at a pretty high fire rate with this thing, almost to the point where it feels like it's just a full auto, insanely fast burst. That's the way the fire rate feels to me. But we're in a good spot here. We're about to flip to round 25. Do I just go and get my perks? I almost feel like I do, right? Just to keep things moving along at the pace we've been going. Been pretty smooth so far. Smooth journey, quick adventures. Okay, I spent all my points on a 3-plater alongside all of the perks. So I'm actually a little bit shorter than normal. Hopefully I can grab that there, and then we should be able to open this door. Now I can actually get out of here. I wasn't able to get out of here because I didn't have the points to do it. All right, go ahead, reload, hurry up. The only thing we don't have now is Pack-a-Punch level 3 and Legendary Rarity, which we should be able to get both of pretty quickly here. You know what? Let's just take advantage of this moment. I feel like we're going to end up with more decoys and stuff too, so if we need to, we'll use that. But otherwise, just stay in this tiny little area. This could be a cool place for me to do one of my limited play space challenges. I don't know if people would be in for it, but I think somebody actually recommended this spot. So maybe that's got a future video written all over it. Now, after some of my most recent challenge runs, I'm gonna be honest, I feel like I can almost do anything in this game with any weapon. We've done 35 plus rounds with the Rampage Inducer with just about anything under the sun. And if you haven't been an avid watcher of the channel, Definitely recommend going and checking it out. I'm actually going to refine my playlist coming soon and try to put, you know, challenges in one playlist and guides in a playlist and new player guides or whatever in playlist. That way it's a little bit easier for people to find, because I do kind of have it all categorized under just the game itself, which I feel like isn't necessarily the most positive way to do it. All right, easy toxic zombie round in the bag. I love the rate of fire. If you're aiming at the head and you're hitting nothing but headshots, this thing absolutely cooks. We're about to find out exactly how fast we can deplete this tier disciple, but I'm gonna go ahead and assume it's gonna be pretty quickly. Now that we're actually, you know, pretty well upgraded. Yeah, look at that. Absolutely destroyed. Didn't stand a chance. Not even gonna give us a hard time. We may have a second disciple in this round, but still to be determined. Ooh, we did, but we also got an insta-kill at the exact same time, so that's gonna be really easy. Didn't even need to use any resources here. We might want to use resources, though, to get through the rest of this round, just to make it fast. Is that everybody? We just throw it? Throw a decoy? Everybody go for it? Everybody gets close. Maybe that's the round. I mean, hopefully that's the round or close to it while we have this insta-kill. Just make it as quick as possible. This is definitely one of the smoothest rounds on this map I've ever had, and I've done quite a few round 41 rounds with definitely a wide variety of weapons. The AMAX probably holding my best time around 45 minutes. I do gotta say, it's probably the best dead shot weapon ever. You just fire and keep spamming, because the ADS couldn't be quicker. It's basically instant. Like, that's one of the main benefits, I think, of running this setup. Okay, we finally got our Pack-a-Punch level 3 upgrades. We're fully juiced. I mean, unless we want Melee Macchiato and Death Perception, we have everything that we need for the entirety of this run. Look at us just absolutely spamming these guys at light speed. I feel like this could actually be a really fun weapon now that they fixed it to take on all the bosses with, because I feel like it would be pretty good. But it might also be kind of annoying to constantly have to refill on ammo, but may not be as bad as I think. I'm really looking forward to the next Disciple round, because I feel like we're going to absolutely delete them. We just need the opportunity to do so. It needs to present itself. I mean, we took out the last one pretty fast. We were Legendary Pack 2. Oh, we got a nuke. Let's go ahead and do this then. Throw this. Everybody should go to it. Quickly, quickly, quickly. We're trying to take out as many zombies as we possibly can in the little amount of time that we are given, in hopes that that activation would go off. And then during this time, we can now go over here, hit the nuke, and it gives us a much better chance of actually flipping the round with it, even though it's probably too far in rounds for it to be that easy. All right, that last round only had about 5. Let's go ahead and hit this just for the vibes. We can then just spam these guys because they're all going to die pretty fast. Anyone want to drop me a decoy? Look at that. They did. They let me pick one up immediately. It doesn't always happen. But we love a good insta-kill. Let's throw that. Everybody's going to start going to it. Hopefully there's another decoy on the ground over here somewhere. Wait till it starts disappearing, or the end of our decoy, and then boom, just like that, you can grab it to finish things off. Is that the rest of the round too? Actually went pretty fast. All right, another toxic round in the bag. Have we done everything we need? Yep. We just have an abundance of everything. Salvage, points. We're looking good. Well, points-wise, we're actually decent. I was expecting it to be a little worse, but we did perfect on our Pack-a-Punch level 3 timing. I'm expecting another guy to show up. That was incredibly fast. Might as well grab the double points just in case. You never know what's going to happen. Okay, we're going to do the Shroud for this one. This guy's just chilling. Yep, we just spam and it's dead. We have plenty of time. I mean, considering how many weapons, not necessarily at this point, right? But considering we're on 34, it's actually still pretty good. But a lot of weapons, even when they're juiced up, end up taking more time than you have in the Shroud to eliminate the Disciple. So definitely a really good sign for this weapon. I honestly feel like this thing is pretty damn powerful. We'll say, although it's an asset to this weapon, the one thing that would have me still choosing the AMAX as opposed to this would 100% be the fire rate. I can do just as much damage, if not more, with the AMAX. I feel like I don't have to reload nearly as often, and obviously I don't go through ammo nearly as often either. I don't have any decoys. Or I do. Why didn't I throw one? I just pressed the button. It didn't throw one. Kind of weird. All right, well, I think we did more than enough for this round anyway, so we're good. Got another heater question for you. Of all the perks currently in the game, which one do you think you rely on the most? For me, PhD. Why? Because I run the rampage inducer so much, and likely I can survive long enough to make PhD the first purchase as opposed to Jug or Quick Revive and then get those later. And honestly, with the rampage inducer, the investment for that much time is pretty low. You end up getting through those rounds really fast anyway, so PhD all the way. I think I got my first Doppelgas to actually transform. I don't think they've been transforming this entire run because we've been doing so well, which is insane. Round 35, it was like my first time seeing one. At least the first one that I remember. Crazy. Okay, we're doing pretty good. I think we're at the end of this round. I feel like these rounds are going much faster than I anticipated they would, but a lot of that could be just based on the damage that we're outputting. I need to buy ammo, though. That's 100% a fact. Don't want to be caught trying to reload an empty reserve. You know what's kind of fun to do with Shroud sometimes is just do a decoy and then Shroud through all the enemies. So then that way you end up getting all the kills. Then we can grab this full power for free, and we're back to where we were when we activated. Absolutely perfect. Okay, we got another nuke, so we're going to do our best here with this. I'm trying to kill as many as possible. They don't want to work with me, though. Definitely not in the slightest here. Can we get out of my way? I'm going to go ahead and hit this. Hopefully that does enough to get us through the round. It might, but I doubt it. Okay, our friend the Disciple is here. Let's go ahead and throw our lovely decoy. It bounced off somebody. We're going to try to destroy this guy as quickly as possible. It's honestly insane how fast we're killing the Disciple with this weapon. All right, decoy number 2, and now we can do Disciple number 2. And there it goes, just like that. We've completed the Disciples for the round, and it only took a little bit of investment from our decoys. Okay, another round in the books. Are we going to be doing Toxic again? I think we might. Oh, look, a self-revive. Too bad we haven't used ours. Yeah, I feel like throwing decoys at the very beginning is just a nice way to make sure you deal with the early round parasites that exist, which generally feel like they transform the fastest. The less doppels you have throughout the run, the easier the entirety of the run's going to be. Simple as that. If I didn't just know it was absolutely awful to look at because of how fast it actually is, I would probably be spamming my dead shot quite a bit more. I've probably done it a decent amount throughout this run, but you could easily just spam that continuously and find pretty reasonable success because of just how fast it ADSs. But obviously doing it this way works too. Don't trap me! Wait. I was going to say, did one of them transform? I don't think so. It didn't. It transformed from a vermin into a parasite. No doppels. This is one of my favorite things to do in this game, right there. Throw a decoy, let all the toxic zombies get as close to each other as possible, and then have a dead wire activate. Very satisfying. 13 bullets in a dream. It was enough. It was enough to get us through the round. Absolutely perfect. I think I see a decoy here too, so we're going to throw that pretty early on in the round. We're on round 40. And this has been nothing but a breeze. One of the easiest rounds. I feel like we're doing pretty good on time. Not going to be my fastest run ever, but that's pretty hard to do, to be honest. And obviously, as long as we're making like 50 minutes or so, we're killing it. So I don't want to put you guys on some sort of recency bias thing, but I feel like this thing is pretty incredible, to be fair. Like, I don't think you're going to struggle much. Obviously, I would have to try it in the boss fights to like fully confirm it, but I feel like if you're doing round 40 with the rampage inducer and you're fairly successful with the weapon, you should be able to take on the boss fight just based on skill, even if the weapon isn't ideal, right? Like, I just think that's kind of how it goes. If you can survive this long, you should have what it takes based on how this game's designed to take on a majority of the boss fights. Maybe the Z-Rex being one of the big exceptions just because of how it tends to be is mechanically. I feel like it just ends up being quite a bit more difficult for most people. That and then the Terminus boss fight being probably up there as well. But I definitely feel like the most underrated boss for difficulty ends up being the Guardian, because I think more people have probably gotten through the Z-Rex or had an easier time on the Z-Rex than even the Guardian. Just based on how the arena is and stuff. There's a few variables to why that is. Not that I think it's actually a much harder boss. Through the decoy, and our Disciple went actually into a really good spot, because now if our ammo mod goes off, it's even better. All close quarters. I'm pretty sure we're getting another one. Did I just hear it? I think I heard the other guy already. We're having another Disciple. Oh, there it is, actually. Hello! Welcome. We're going to take you out. You're going to die really fast. Kind of like how they've been dying the entire time. Slightly slower than before, but I felt like a lot of those weren't actually crits, so maybe it doesn't count. Doppelgast absolutely destroyed instantly. Oh, it'll give me a nuke. Nice. Let's kill this round quickly. We're at the end. I know we are. I don't know how I'm getting through these rounds so quick, but they definitely feel like they're going fast. Maybe it's just the weapon's strong, so I don't feel like I'm fighting the same group of zombies for 10 minutes, but it's been a journey. I think what this thing's doing really well is deleting these guys with armor. It's kind of hard for me to tell, and it's this early on in the round. For obvious reasons, there's just no way to single target an enemy and see its health bar as we go, but I definitely feel like it's depleting the armor pretty fast on these guys. Hopefully I can get one here in the near future. We can see it in real time. All right, I don't know if we have any actual armored zombies left, but if we do have one here, we're going to delete it pretty quickly. Definitely want to get at least one armored zombie singled out so we can see how fast we deplete through them. Maybe we'll get one to spawn in quickly. There we go. It died pretty quickly considering it's armored. We blast through its armor and then it's dead. A lot of weapons, in my opinion, that's what they struggle with the most. It's like if you can't eliminate the armor fast enough, it's kind of a GG with that gun. Also, oftentimes, too, even if you can make a weapon work, doesn't mean it's not going to take you forever to get through the rounds, right? As you guys have seen with some of my challenge runs. Takes me, in some cases, an hour and a half to go 31 rounds when we put ourselves at extreme disadvantages. I actually have another spicy question for you guys today in this video. If they were to remove loadouts in Black Ops 7, and not entirely, but make them something you have to do something specific on the map, like stepwise or whatever, in order to unlock, or you had to unlock enough of the map and then pay X amount of essence to actually buy it, would that deter you from playing the game? Like, do you feel like being able to choose your weapon, setting up your own loadout, is a massive part to why you enjoy this game and the experience? And do you think that it would be a big negative for how much you actually enjoy it if you had to go through all those extra obstacles to get the weapon that you'd like? Because that's a big talk within the community. People feel like loadouts don't necessarily have to be removed, but they want you to have to play hopscotch in every match in order to acquire it. That way it's not so desirable. But I feel like that's kind of the opposite effect, right? If that's everything everyone's going to push for, it kind of just defeats the purpose. Like, why add the extra step? Just to make somebody use a pistol for 5 extra rounds, just to make them more miserable? Honestly, if it's not making the game more fun, don't do it. That's how I look at it. Okay, insta-kill is going to help us destroy through the end of this round, or what seems like the end of this round. The thing about when you get to the 40s, like, you think you're at the end of a round, and you are just not, like we are right now. We are just not at the end of the round like we thought. We'll throw an extra decoy, not a big deal. We'll let everybody get close quarters. We'll shoot them all down with our insta-kill as it slowly ticks down. Not going to be able to be carried into the next round, but that's okay. I think we actually made pretty good use of it by doing what we did through this one. Insta-kills are nice and all, but with a weapon this fast, you just waste so much ammo. All right, we get to do my favorite part again. Get them all close, and then let them all get hit with electricity in hopes that they explode. Most of them did. Yeah, if you're somebody that tends to struggle for these toxic zombie rounds, there's nothing I could advocate for more than running decoys, getting your vulture raid, and then once you're legendary, just save up, all your extra salvage. That way you can pretty much always maintain having 2 decoys on deck. All right, we got our disciples again. Can we get them out as fast as a decoy exists? Pretty much, yes. There's one down. I'm sure there's another one just waiting to attack. I don't know when this guy got here, but maybe he's here for a while, but it took him a moment to be visible for me, and it's gone. It came, it saw, it tried to conquer, and it didn't have any luck. Good luck in the dark ether, disciple. I gotta be honest, I feel like this is one of the rare opportunities where the new attachment for a weapon ends up making the weapon significantly more viable. Like, there's zero chance I would ever use the TR2 before this attachment existed, and now I'm considering it probably in the top 10 weapons to be using in zombies. Like, it functions similar to an SMG, it's fairly powerful, the rate of fire is insane. I mean, the main negative is the amount of ammo that you go through, but to be fair, as long as you don't mind buying ammo, reloading, you should be fine. As long as you're not pack-a-punching a little bit too early and going through too much as far as the essence is concerned, you should have more than enough to carry you forward. Obviously, it does depend a little bit too. People that end up having to rebound in their runs more often end up, probably struggling more with these weapons than anyone else, just because I'm doing my run basing all of my currency on upgrading, right? Whereas somebody who goes down and maybe loses some of their stuff along the way, they're going to have a much more challenging time having to try to rebuy stuff if they don't have any currency, right? Now, let's be clear. At this point in my run, I don't think it matters that much just because I have so much built up, but I would say probably in the early 40s and the late 30s, it's probably a little bit more of a fear, maybe even the early 30s. Like, if you end up going to pack 3 and you have all your perks set up and then you end up going down and utilizing your self-revive, you're going to have to rebuy all those perks. That's going to be rough for sure. But if that's not happening to you and you're making it pretty far into your run like I do, without having those issues, probably not going to be a big deal at all. I was thinking about this recently. I'm surprised there's not a gobblegum in the game to, like, drop you a random ammo mod. Because you can pack-a-punch your gun, you can make it legendary, but unless I missed one, there is not a gobblegum that drops you an ammo mod or equips a random ammo mod to the weapon that you're holding, which I think is a kind of an L. You could definitely add that. That would be pretty neat, to be fair, and it'd be useful for, like, first room challenges and stuff like that. All right, we got a couple doppelgasts for the first time in a while. I think one of them's already almost dead. Should be able to get through them. I mean, most of it is these guys are blocking my damage. Let me get through. Can the doppel get to the front? There we go. We killed one doppel. The biggest issue is that the zombies just work as a shield, right? That's always how this game works. You get far enough in, the zombies just work as actual shields for the things you really want to get out of the match quickly. Oh, we're going to throw this because we want to get as many zombies out of here as possible, including our doppel. Oh, that's going to help. Get them all out. We want to do a big, huge explosion. I don't have any more decoys, though. All right, we're going to kill as many enemies as we can in this time, but we don't have much more time left. Okay, hit it. Your homework after watching today's video is to jump in with the TR2 full auto. Don't forget the attachment of the magazine and see how long you can survive Shattered Veil or your favorite map running the Rampage Inducer. Then come back to this video and let me know down in the comment section below what you ended up getting to. All right, we're doing the decoy trick. There's already too many parasites for my comfort. And the faster, like I said, we get them out, the less likely we are to have doppels, the less pain in the butt some of these later rounds can be. In my opinion, this is actually the map you benefit from a strong strategy the most, because if you're actually utilizing upgrading at reasonable rounds, taking advantage of certain areas of the map like I do for X amount of time to get your upgrades quicker, or just in general, right? You can end up having the easiest run to 56 on this map of any of the maps. But it can also be the biggest struggle if you're not able to execute on those things. Like if you don't have a really good strategy, or you're not eliminating the disciples quick enough, or the parasites are constantly transforming, it's going to be a rough journey, no matter what weapon you're using, if, you know what I mean, if you're not executing, like, efficiently. It's just the way that it is. And I know this just from doing all the challenge runs on this map, because if you don't kill the disciples, things get extremely rough. I've been able to outlast the entire round to the point where they despawn and respawn in the next round, and it kind of just resets all the zombies, and you're still not able to do damage. So it's a journey, to say the least. But I guess my main point is like, you have almost no specials. You're not really dealing with the elites because you kill them in the first like few seconds of the round starting. Whereas on many of the other ones, you don't necessarily have that kind of luck, right? You don't have that kind of efficiency. And I would say the elites on the other maps are generally way more annoying to deal with. Whether it's the amalgams or the abominations that tend to be kind of just more of a pain to kill in efficient time, just simply because of the crit spots being the way that they are. Amalgams can be killed fairly quick depending on your setup and everything, but abominations get to choose when you can hit them in the crit spot. All right, starting this round the same way, getting these freaking bugs out of here, because they are easily the biggest hurdle. Then we just try to out-survive the zombies, which isn't too bad. Dead wire activating pretty efficiently is nice. I like electric cherry quite a bit. I'm surprised how many people don't use it. Well, actually, I don't know how many people don't use it, because I don't tend to watch that many people, but I can't imagine everyone's using it, because I don't see it too often when I do watch people. All right, we actually got a nuke, so we got to do our best here to try to destroy our army, or as many of them as freaking possible, because then we can actually have a reasonable chance to flip this round. Which I don't know if we do or not, but we always put in the best effort we can to try to do it. I got to get over there because they don't want to let me in there. The one thing that's crazy about like 46 plus is you literally feel like the round is over, and then magically you have an entire new rounds where the zombies, it just appears. Whether it's after hitting a nuke or just getting a large like horde elimination, generally feels about the same. Oh, this is actually perfect. We have a fully healed up, or full health, heavy zombie here. Let's see how fast we can eliminate it with this gun. I would say that was pretty good. The armor didn't really stand much of a chance, and I didn't even hit all perfect shots, so it's a huge W. Only 5 rounds left to go, and we hit the health cap. We're exfilling at 56. We're going to take this thing the distance. I remembered that in my last video, I said, you know what? This isn't functioning as I believe they intended it to. If they end up bringing it back, we'll take it to the round 56 run. Okay, let's see if we can get our disciple out fast. And oh, you just got in my way right when I about finished it off. I think we got it. I still think we got it. Let's get our parasite out. W. There should be another disciple coming in. All right, throwing the decoy, trying to kill this guy as quickly as I can with this freaking dude on my back. All right, I'm gonna just shroud because I can't tell if I killed it. I did not. Everybody's trying to attack me. Working as... Whoa, where'd you go? No, get back here. Yo, I wasted some resources on you. All right, we got him again. He's back. And he's dead. I almost died in the process, but he's dead. Yeah, this round's been exactly what I explained earlier. You keep thinking you're at the end of it, and more just keep spawning, and they keep taking their place, and they keep hitting you. Honestly, the plate's starting to diminish a bit, but I don't really want to invest any of my shrouds to do it, so I'm going to try to do it in between rounds if possible. Come on, activations. We need some decoys. We need some stuff to go off here. Our damage is feeling a little bit lessened, obviously, but we're on the last stretch here of them actually gaining any more strength. And technically, strength isn't probably the best word for it. They do tend to hit a little harder at the later rounds, but they are most importantly just going to get more health. Okay, our favorite part of the entire run once again. Oh, it didn't go off. No ammo mod for us, apparently. All right, let's try it again. We should get the activation this time. Maybe not. 0 activations this entire round. That's actually crazy. Or it's going to do it. There we go, right at the end. Going to do it right at the end. One thing I haven't done much this round, but you can definitely do, is just throw a decoy, wait for them to all get close together, buy a couple more, kill the group or get the ammo mod to go off, then throw another. It's like pretty repetitive at this point on the strategy that you can execute to try to keep yourself best in this game, at least in my experience. Same thing, grab a decoy after throwing one. They're at least all grouped up, close quarters. If you get the ammo mod activation, great. If not, well, at least they're all kind of close enough you can just round about them until you can get the activation to go off, just like so. It's our ticket to escaping the round. Here it is, though, that moment. Once again, we thought the round looked almost done. Look how many enemies showed up. We got a whole nother wave. I think the game tries to catch you off guard in order to, like, potentially put you in danger because you're not expecting as many zombies to be still alive. Okay, this is actually insane. We got an insta-kill at this point in the run. This late in a round, there's a chance for us to actually take this into the next round if we can kill the rest of our zombies fast enough. They also have to spawn in fast enough, which is a big part of the issue we're facing right now. Where are they? Come on, stop spawning them. Oh, a little bit of insta-kill action on the Disciple. It's going to die in 3 seconds flat. Didn't even have a chance to exist. This is one of the latest Disciple spawns I feel like I've ever got, but maybe that's part of the round situation we were talking about. Like, I thought the round was closer to being over than it actually is. All right, we're going to have to try to do as much damage as we can, but we do need more ammo. Not actually very close. I'm going to go ahead and call this just so I can grab the ammo. I hate that you have to wait so long for the thing to actually function, but whatever. All right, where's our guy at? I have another guy. He's over there. Let's throw the decoy. Should be perfect. This guy's going to die pretty quickly. Going to hopefully... Oh, that's perfect, too. Going to give me enough time to buy 2 more decoys. It's kind of unfortunate that the brain rot thing, pheromone, that actually brings all the zombies in like a decoy, has like a limit to how many zombies it affects. Because I swear you would think anything in close quarters would count and they would all go for it. But I have zombies that just totally ignore it all the time and come for me no matter what. So it's definitely something they could adjust to make it even more viable. And honestly, it should just be adjusted that way anyway. If I'm close to it when it activates and the zombies all tend to go near it just because I'm close enough, so be it. Shouldn't have a limit to how many zombies it actually affects. All right, we've reached the final chapter on our road to hitting the health cap here with the rampage inducer. This is the hardest the zombies will ever be. Right here, right now. I feel like we're still doing pretty good damage-wise. I mean, the hardest part about going up in rounds, especially at this point, is just how many of them end up being armored, which is why ammo mods are so damn good in the later rounds, in my opinion. If you have dead wire and it goes off, 3 times on the same group of zombies, it's likely to kill all those zombies regardless of your damage output of your weapon. All right, another decoy out. Can we get this group out of here? They're a hefty one. They are strong. They are persistent. They are your round 55 max health zombies. Honestly, we're still killing them fairly quick. Let's be real. It's not taking nearly as long as I anticipated it could. A lot of it is probably on the rate of fire. A lot of it is probably the fact that the weapon actually deals significant damage, but we're here. We're making it work. Come on. Got another decoy to go out because we have a freaking doppelgast that's out here patrolling. Can we hit you in the crit spot so we can kill you quick? There we go. We are definitely not near the end of this round, no matter how it looks. I'm not falling for it. I think we're close to the end. If this is the last of my zombies, they should all die here. Wouldn't that be something? We'd be in the perfect spot. Let's start running. Let's just start running. It's time to exfil. We've done it. We've made it the entire journey flawlessly at that. We didn't lose a single self-revive. No quick revives were lost. We had dying wish. It was absolute perfection across the board, and we did it in fairly reasonable time, if I do say so myself. I don't feel like this was a long, drawn-out journey. Even though the later rounds always tend to go quite a bit longer than the earlier, feel like we still did pretty good. I definitely think you guys should absolutely give the TR2 full auto another chance. It's probably, again, like I said, in the top 10 weapons currently within the game, or at least in my opinion, even though that could probably include some recency bias and whatnot. But let's see what we can do here. I do have a mutant injection in case we need it to get out of this place, because that tends to be a bit of an issue. Let's go over here really quickly. Can I grab a couple of decoys? Beautiful. Throw one. That way we can get everybody grouped up. Try to eliminate as many of these guys as we can. This is a tricky area for trying to survive the actual exfil, especially when I run out of ammunition. That actually might be the thing that sends us over. Even though it doesn't seem like it wastes a ton of time, it wastes too much. Come on, guys. We need you all to die. There we go. Just need them to spawn. That's all we need. We just need them to spawn in quick. All right, we're eliminating them. Oh, come on. You can't have transforming zombies when we're limited. There we go. Couple more. 7 left. 30 seconds. Can they spawn fast enough? I believe. I believe in the dream. What do we have? 3 more to go. One's over here. Where are the other 2? All right, 1 here. And 1 here. We did it. Look how quickly we actually ended up killing the heavy armored dude. Well, hopefully you guys all enjoyed the journey. Hopefully you guys are excited I went all the way to round 56 with the Rampage Inducer to truly test the potential of the TR2. I don't know why we have a freaking FFAR in our hands while we're exfilling. That's okay. Thank you, Treyarch, for fixing the attachment. I knew it wasn't supposed to be intended that way, and it was absolutely broken before. But now, definitely in my top 10 weapons to use currently in Black Ops 6 Zombies. Thank you guys for all the support in today's video, all support the channel. Look forward to seeing y'all in the next one. Peace!